Well, a couple from Sydney's southwest is warning others not to become complacent with COVID-19 after they were both hospitalised with the virus.
Their 3-year-old daughter is also suffering mild symptoms of the highly infectious Delta strain. Melissa Green, Dion Mason and Lola join us now from Riverwood. Good morning, guys. Thanks for being with us today. Dion, it's been a tough few weeks. How are you guys holding up?
Look, to be honest, Karl, it's probably been the toughest 3 weeks I've experienced as an adult. Both physically and mentally, it's probably been the toughest test I've had to go through. So we are on the mend now, but yeah, really difficult period for us.
Explain it why.
Look, I mean, I was locked down with Lola for most of the time, so it was just her and I when Melissa was in hospital. So, you know, being able to walk from the kitchen to the lounge room, just the fatigue and not being able to breathe was extremely difficult. And at the same time, having to try and look after a 3-year-old. As you can see, they're pretty busy, and so it was difficult.
Melissa, take us through what it was like for you.
So for me, when I was taken off to hospital after I had a doctor come out and observe me after a really scary day. I only thought I would be going maybe, you know, for a bit of observation like what Dion did, maybe 1 to 2 nights, and it turned into 8 nights. And while you're there, you know, total isolation, and the doctors and nurses only coming in every 4 hours. You don't know what's going on. I had temperatures of over 40 degrees where I was delirious. I didn't know what was going on. And just because as well, we don't know enough about this virus, the doctors and nurses trying to treat you as best as they can to the all the knowledge that we do have. Just the scariest time I've ever been through in my life.
So at that point, when you were at home before you went to hospital, were you struggling to breathe? Can you just explain what those symptoms were like? You said it was a scary day for you.
Yeah, so on my scariest day, I had the oxygen on me at over 4 litres. And I guess that might not maybe sound like a lot, but when you are trying to breathe like a normal person and you just can't get those and you're just gasping continually and just being able to get that air into your lungs, it's really, really scary.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Look, Lola also contracted the virus. How did she fare?
Look, to be honest with you, Karl, that's probably the one shining light through the whole process. We were really lucky that she had very mild symptoms early on, where she was sick at night time and a couple of small vomits in the morning. But apart from that, she was really resilient and hardly showed any symptoms at all, which was, I guess, a huge relief for us, given that we were both quite sick at the time.
Can I ask, had you guys been vaccinated when you caught it, or have you had the vaccination since?
So, no, not vaccinated. I actually can't get the AstraZeneca. And then being under 40, hadn't yet qualified for Pfizer, and Dion's only just turned 40, so we hadn't had the Pfizer hit. At the moment, we actually now, because we've had COVID, have to wait. For you, it's what?
Yeah, so I've got to wait about 3 months before I can get the my first vaccine. So whether that's Pfizer or AstraZeneca, I'm happy to get either one, to be honest with you, after going through what we have.
That's interesting. Look, I hear too, a lot of people have been sick with this for a lot longer afterwards, the previous strains. How are you coping with after effects?
So I'm still feeling really, really breathless. Even though my oxygen stats are showing at a level where they would release me from hospital, I just feel like I can't do anything, like just getting up and trying to put the load of washing on and hang it out. I've got to sit down for like 25 minutes or so after that and just like lay there because it's just so exhausting. Even like having a normal shower, you know, like, and they actually can't even tell me how long it's going to take to get back to where I was. Like, I play netball a few times a week. I umpire the sport, and I keep saying to like my netball friends, I don't even think I'd be able to pass the ball out of the centre kind of thing. And that's really, really scary for me, is that they can't tell us, you know, the long-term impacts. I'll be going for more scans on my lungs and follow-up of lots of bloods due to the medications that they were giving to me. But for me, the scariest now is just, you know, not knowing the outcome of what could potentially, you know, be with me for the rest of my life.
Wow. I mean, that is a tremendously disturbing insight into what you've been going through and to what lays ahead. We appreciate you being with us today. Little Lola is absolutely gorgeous. We're glad she's okay as well. And good luck, guys, moving through the next days and weeks. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for helping us share our story.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. And you know what? Before that, they were both perfectly healthy.
And
So
active,
you just don't know how it's going to affect you, do you?
Yeah, awful.